10 inches. You can go, Chef.
All right, sorry about that, folks. We should be back. We're on the boys' hurdles right now. Apologize for missing the girls' hurdles. We had some technical difficulties. Hopefully we can iron those all out as we go this week. We'll have those qualifiers for the girls' final up in a second. And the first section of the boys' 55 hurdles is off. Looks like that's going to be lane 5, James Brumfield from St. Mary's. He is your #1 seed at 8:01 coming in. Only returner from the field is Kyle Kohler from Joseph Case. He finished 6th in this event last year. In section 2 of the boys' 55 hurdles, we're going to see Ari Massos from Hamilton Wenham, Pierce DeBow from Ipswich, Brandon Blackburn from Southwest Holland, Matthew DeBice from Bishop Fenwick, Ben Talicki from Oakmont, Mike Riley from Stoneham, Parker Piona from Auburn, and Axel Estavio from Advanced Math and Science Academy. And that was section 2 right there. That was Talicki from Oakmont with the win there. Talicki's your #2 seed coming in at 8:16. We'll keep you guys updated. And that's lane 5, Kyle Kohler of Joseph Case. Our only returner from last year that finished in the top 8, so he'll look to better that from last year. That was section 3. Coming up in section 4 of the boys' 55-meter hurdles is Jesse Sturts from Littleton, Kevin Lawler from West Bridgewater, James Matthews, Arlington Catholic, Adam Digman, Murdoch, James Dignan, Bishop Fenwick, David West, Narragansett, Sam Fitzpatrick, Ipswich, and Connor Posey from Seekonk is the section coming up. And that will be the final heat of 4. We'll keep you guys updated all meet long. This is Coach Shepard from Marshfield. It looks like I'm going to be solo tonight. My wingman, James Fletcher, has fallen ill from last night. Hopefully we don't all catch what he had. So it'll be a one-man show behind the mic tonight. James Digman in lane 5 in this heat from Murdoch comes in with an 8.42. And this is going to be a little tighter than the other heats. But it does look like that's James Digman from Murdoch. We have the girls 55 dash coming up. In this dash, we should have some pretty good races. Your top seed, Chloe Alfieri from Brumfield, comes in with a 7.31. She finished 2nd last year. That time would be better than the current record set by Skylar Snay of Amesbury last year, who was your #3 seed today with a 7.37. Stuck in between them is Caroline Shishel from Amesbury with a 7.37. So we should have quite the finish. There's 3 girls under 7.40. One has the meet record. One's the number 1 seed. Something's got to give. In this first section of the girls' 55-meter dash, it's going to be Elizabeth Toll from Bromfield School, Chigozi Sumani from Archbishop Williams, Latasha Thompson from Narragansett, Chloe Alferi, the number 1 seed from Bromfield, Patricia Adesenye from Lowell Catholic, Obiaka Ogwenu from Auburn, and Serena Cachola from Saugus, the freshman. And it's all Chloe Alferi from Bromfield. No one even close to her. Trying to set her up for the finals right there. She looked very strong. This second section is going to be Caitlin Lewis from Ursuline Academy, Rose Muldrew from Watertown, Maureen Grady from Douglas, Skylar Snee, which we talked about before, from Amesbury, Jackie Hayes from Ursuline Academy, Emily McCormick from East Bridgewater, and Isabella Mahoney from Winthrop. Let's see if Skylar Snee can match what Chloe Alferi just did in her prelim. Which looks like it was a 7.28 from Alferi. Just like Alferi did, Skylar Snee is way ahead of her competitors. 7.28 by Alferi. Let's see where Snee matches up with that. That 7.28 out of the prelim by Alferi would dominate that meet record from last year. Heat 3 features Caroline Shishel from Amesbury in lane 5. All your top athletes here will be in lane 4 and lane 5. Tatum Evans in lane 2, Dover Sherborne, Alea Hernandez from Leicester, Jordan Turner from Carver, Caroline Shishel from Amesbury, Emily Hickey from Austin Prep, Meredith Castro from Joseph Case, and Olivia St. Peter from Ipswich in lane 8. And that was really, really close between Sichel and Hickey. From the last heat, Snee ran a 7.34 to move on to the finals. She'll have to run faster than that to catch up with Alferi going into that final. Final section of the girls' dash, Miaa Cohen from Arlington Catholic, Jillian Rodding from Wareham, Brooke Taylor from Amesbury, Alyssa Madden from Oakmont, we certainly can't forget about her. Ashley Thomas from Ursuline Academy, Beverly Brown from Amesbury, Hope Shue from Dover Sherborne, and April Luters from Linfield. Amesbury looking to get some key points in this 55-meter dash to go to that team fight, which Bromfield should also have their hand in it, with Chloe Alferi scoring them potentially a good amount of points today. Final heat is off. And that's Madden from Oakmont. Ashley Thomas, not too far off her. Now we're headed to the boys 55 dash prelims. And this is going to be all about John Coet from Oakmont. Comes in with a 6.43 seed time. That looked like, trying to find on the start list.
And the young lady that just ran adaptive is Perry or Sutton, 10.40. Good time.
10.40 for Perry in the adaptive 55. First section, Matt Pullix from Bishop Staying, Nick McDermott from East Bridgewater, CJ Spite from Uxbridge, John Coet, as we talked about, from Oakmont with that 6.43, which would be better than his time from last year. He won this race last year. Evan Atonix from Ipswich, Calvin Susi from Lowell Catholic, and Bryce Dupre from Fairhaven. And Oakmont's going to look for big points from their leader here. And he's out and away from everybody.
Girls dash finals on the board. Hernandez, Shishel, Thomas, Alferi, Madden, Snake, Turner, and Grady. Those girls dash should report to the blue high jump.
Miaa will be up once we finish in the infield here.
Thomas, Alferi, Madden, Snake, Turner, and Grady.
In this section of the 55 boys, Ryan Thier from Murdoch, Eric Dumal from East Bridgewater, Matt Mekam from Millis, Manje Kamara from Watertown, another guy to watch out for, your number 2 seed, Giovanni Cacciatore from East Bridgewater, Zach Fisher from Carver, and Matthew Silvera from Seekonk. Manje Kamara, probably the only guy that may be able to give John Coet from Oakmont a challenge today. He's got his work cut out for him. We'll also see those two matched up in the 300 later, which should be even more exciting. Teams to watch out for in the boys' team fight today is Air Shirley, Oakmont, Watertown, and Dover Sherborne, who will be riding high behind Eric Linden, their middle distance standout. Guns off, clean start. And that's all the junior Manje Kamara from Watertown. 6.56 was Coet's time in the prelims. Just a bit off his meet record from last year, but only the prelims.
Both girls broke the meet record. So Madden and Alferi now own the meet record for the girls 55 until the final.
Heat 3 here. Evan Farrow from Fairhaven, Leandro Macarenas from West Bridgewater, Noah Coot from Joseph Case, Mike D'Agostino from Ipswich, Aiden Fahey from Oxford, Matt Alvarez with 1T from Seekonk, and Joseph Masterson from Norwell. Top dog here is Mike D'Agostino from Ipswich in lane 5 with a 6.68 seed time. Well ahead of the rest of the guys in his heat. Guns off, another clean start. Right down the middle is Mike D'Agostino from Ipswich all by himself for the heat win.
And that was Mike D'Agostino of Ipswich.
Looks like Kamara from last heat was a 6.64 in his heat win, so a little bit off his personal best. Heat 4, the final heat of the boys' 55-meter dash prelims is Connor Ryan from Hamilton Wenham, Cameron Picard from Bellingham, Darnell Worley from Wittensville Christian, Harry Keefe from Sutton, Henry Osei from Holy Name Central Catholic, Tyler Lindquist from St. Peter Marion, and Marcus Fields from Air Shirley. Henry Osei comes in with a 6.75 seed time for Holy Name Central Catholic. He should be the guy leading the charge here. Harry Keefe not too far off him from Sutton. Oh, and we have our first hiccup on the day as far as the gun goes. Let's see if an issue's a warning's issued here, or if and it looks like, unfortunately, One athlete has been asked to leave. Looks like that was Darnell Worley from Whitensville Christian. Maybe even Whitensville Christian. It's one of the two. I apologize if I'm pronouncing it wrong. This one goes off without a hitch. We're missing two athletes from the 8. Looks like that was Harry Keefe from Sutton with the win. No Henry Osei from Holy Name. One of the top guys in the race. All right, in this final, the boys' final of the 55 hurdles coming up. Unfortunately, they have not updated the heat sheets of who's in this final. You have to imagine James Brumfield of St. Mary's is your favorite. Came in with an 8:01. Not only will he look for the win here, but maybe even scoot under that 8-second barrier. 8 minutes would be slow. And that is Brumfield, followed closely by Talicki of Oakmont, which will be 8 big team points for Oakmont.
Boys 55 dash, finalists, Giovanni Cacciatore, East Bridgewater, Harry Keefe, Sutton, Noah Coit, Case High School, Maj Camaro, Watertown, John Cohen, Oakmont Regional, Mike D'Agostino, Ipswich, Evan Antokes, Ipswich, Tyler Lindquist, St. Peter Marion. They should be back to the blue line jump pit, please.
And that was Brumfield, well under his PR, 7.93 for the win. Talicki, 8.05, that's a PR for him. No surprises in the boys' 55-meter hurdles up top. Luckily, we do have the girls that are in the finals. Mackenzie Condon of Martha's Vineyard, Alexandra Gonet of Pope Francis, Alexa Allard of Murdoch, Gwyneth Fitzpatrick of Hamilton Wenham, Amber Green of Lunenburg, Madison Morris of Amesbury, Allison Silva of Advanced Math and Science Academy, and Chigozi Sumani of Archbishop Williams. And all eyes are on Alexandra Gonet of Pope Francis. She's your champion from last year. Oh, and we have a hurdle hit.
Defending champion. That's not easy to do, defending champion.
And that's Gonet for the win. We'll see how fast it was. You hate to see a athlete hit a hurdle in the finals here. All that preparation that went into getting to this spot.
And next up will be the girls, 55. In lane 1, Aaliyah Hernandez, Leicester. 2, Caroline Shishel, Amesbury.
This one's taking him a second to get up here. Like we talked about earlier in this girls 55 dash coming up, Chloe Alfieri comes in with the top time. Skylar Snee was your champion last year and meet record. Alfieri finished second last year. Ashley Thomas, Ursuline Academy, finished fifth last year. And then you have Caroline Sichel of Amesbury in the number 2 seed. So Gonay won that in 8.41, which best the meet record. Allard in second. Off here in the girls 55-meter dash final. Looks to be a tight finish. And Alyssa Madden could have stole the show right there. She came in as the 5th seed. But you can't count out the Oakmont Junior. This would be a huge upset here if Madden pulled that off. Just waiting for it to come up on the board. And it is Madden, 7.20, unbelievable. Meet record, just edges Alfieri and Snee, the 2 favorites. Just shows you anything can happen. You make it to the finals. That's why they run the races. Unbelievable. We only talked about Alfieri and Snee the whole time, and then Madden comes and steals the show. In this final of the boys 55, in order of fastest times, John Coet from Oakmont, Manje Camara from Watertown, Mike D'Agostino from Ipswich, Noah Hewitt from Joseph Case, Evan Antonekes from Ipswich, Harry Keefe from Sutton, Tyler Lindquist from St. Peter Marion, and Giovanni Cacciatore from East Bridgewater. What a name. Here we go. Can't see anybody giving John Coet a challenge here. The only guy close to him was Manje Camara, but it is John Coet from Oakmont. See if he can grab his own meet record and lower it a little bit here. And that was Madden for the girls 55. We're just waiting for the boys 55 to pop up. Girls unseated heat of the mile is already there, ready to roll. And that was Coet. And he does lower his meet record to 6.48. Kamara right behind him in 6.58, respectable by him. And they're killing us in the gym right now. I don't have heat sheets for this mile either. Looks like we might have to have a little guessing game with the girls that are in this. Have a performance list, just not heat sheets. Maybe Jen Caseno from Sutton out in front right now. Girls are strung out here, single file. Seated heat will be a little bit easier knowing the top names up front. Almost 3 girls across right here, 4 girls in the mix. Looks like we have a Phoebe Von Kanta from maybe Mary Chavo from Ursuline Academy up there, and Elizabeth Annetz from Ursuline Academy. 4 girls have split off. 5 girls have split off from the pack right now. As we talked about a lot last night, you know, these girls need to remember if they want to dip into the top 8 from the next heat, they really need to push the pace and not worry about winning the heat. And I have spotted both Rothmans on the track right now getting ready for that seated heat. They are entered in the mile, the 1,000, and the 2 mile. So it'll be interesting to see what else they run today. I would imagine they would split up, one in the 1,000, one in the 2 mile, and then both come back for the 4x8. But you never know. The way they ran last year as sophomores, you could see top dog Sarah Rothman run all 3 individual events. 3:32. As I said earlier, I'm riding solo here tonight. Coach Fletcher, who was here last night with me, has come down with an illness. Hopefully we'll have him back tomorrow night for the D1 championships, but tonight it will be just me, Coach Shepard from Marshfield. Bell lap right at 5 minutes. And that looks like the Sutton athlete. We'll keep an eye on the clock, see if it has a chance to hold up and maybe sneak into the top heats. Out to lane 2 she goes. That's your heat winner in 5:38. Looks like that was Jen Caseno from Sutton, just a sophomore. Came in with a 5:41 seat time and ran a little quicker than that. So she did her part. Coming up, the girls' seated heat of the 1 mile. Talked a lot about Sarah Rothman and Caitlin Rothman, the 2 juniors, coming off their first season of cross country, and a stellar season it was. both finishing in the top 25 at the Northeast Regional. And if Littleton's going to have a shot at the team title tonight, they're going to have to get a lot of points from these two twins. Emily Kufos from Watertown is going to try and break them up. She comes in with a 5:11 time. It'll be interesting to see what the race tactics here are from the Rothmans as they try and save energy for most likely 2 more races on the day. Sarah Rothman, Littleton. Emily Kufos, Watertown. Caitlin Rothman, Littleton. Bethany Steiner, Millis. Maria Avola, Stoneham. Elizabeth Powderly, Watertown. Kate Del Torchio, Bishop Fenwick. Alia Nunasis, Auburn. Amber Cuthbert, Martha's Vineyard. Molly Barry from East Bridgewater. Kate Scott, Advanced Math Science and Academy. Samantha Fernandez, Fairhaven. That's your 12 athletes here in the girls' seeded mile. 37 seconds for the first 200 by Sarah Rothman, followed by Kufos and Caitlin Rothman. Strung out here early, single file as we go. Usually means there's a hot pace set by the leader. Doesn't look like Sarah Rothman is wasting any time. Her sister has now moved into second. Maria Vola from Stoneham has moved up and actually moves up to second. We'll have 2 heats of the boys' mile coming up right after this. Sarah Rothman through 600 meters. Caitlin Rothman in second. Emily Kufos from Watertown. And Murray Avola from Stoneham are your top 4. Will be coming up on the 800-meter split in about 100 meters. Sarah Rothman is your leader in 2:32. Tight pack behind her, her sister, Caitlin. Emily Kufos from Watertown. And Maria Vola from Stoneham. Those 4 have really broken away from the rest of the field. Sarah Rothman all alone up front, and then that 3-pack, chase pack behind her. Caitlin Rothman and Kufos keep switching back and forth. Sarah looks very comfortable up front. Sarah Rothman continues to lead. Her sister right behind her, Emily Kufos from Watertown. Avola from Stoneham. Keeping up with the pace early. Caitlin Rothman now trying to separate herself from that chase back. 18 points out of the gates for Littleton would be enormous. And there looks like a strong possibility of that happening. Sarah looks to coast in. Her sister picking it up a little bit here. Caitlin behind her. Kufos from Watertown trying to keep pace. Avola has fallen off the pace a little bit from Stoneham. Unless any major switches here, that looks to be your top four. Caitlin Rothman actually closing on Sarah Rothman a little bit. Kufos from Watertown is looking to hold on to that third place finish, and it's going to be Littleton with a big 18 points here. Sarah's coming in at about a 5:06. Caitlin Rothman in about 5:09. And that's Kufos from Watertown in 5:11 high. Avola will round out the top four from Stoneham in 5:18. Heck of a race for her. And that was a statement by Littleton that they're here to be in the team title from the start. Boys unseated 1 mile up now. Looks like we have 12 athletes. Brian Catilius from East Bridgewater, Braden Coate from South Hadley, Brian O'Sullivan from Narragansett, Zach Mazoyak from Bishop Fenwick, Chris Williams from West Bridgewater, Lucas Jacques from Coyle Cassidy, William Carroll, Southwick Tolland, Brandon Murphy from Bellingham, Augustine Smith from Norwell, Adam Mula from Parker Charter, Daniel Benet from Dover Sherburne, Charlie O'Neill, Norwell, Alex Molden, Wareham, James Torrero from Seekonk, and Scott Seary from Dover Sherborne rounds out the field. And that looks like Braden Coate, the sophomore from South Hadley, separates himself early. Realizes the only way to finish top 8 today is to set a hot pace. And he has done just that. Continues to lead. Sophomore from South Hadley, Coate. High jump is underway on the infield. We'll do our best to give you the field event updates as we go, as well as team updates. Coate from South Hadley is through the 800 in 2:23. A few seconds ahead of his seed time. Brian Catilius from East Bridgewater is trying to close the gap. Girls 600 has been brought out. It doesn't look like it's going to be Coate for too much longer by himself. Catilius of East Bridgewater is all but back up to the front. It's become a 3-man race. Coate, Catilius. Actually, Catilius has fallen back to third. That's Brian O'Sullivan from Narragansett that's in second now, and may even try and take the lead here. Brian O'Sullivan from Narragansett, the junior, takes the lead. Coet trying to react. Catilius moving up as well. Brian O'Sullivan from Narragansett has taken over control of this race. The 1, 2, 3 seeds in backwards order. 3, 2, 1 right now. Some jostling in that chase pack. Sullivan, Coet, Catilius. Coming up on that bell lap, it continues to be Sullivan from Narragansett leading. Coet from South Hadley. Catilius from East Bridgewater. Coet now takes back the lead. Catilius follows. We're closing well here. All three athletes have run 4:50. Sullivan at 4:52, and they should be faster. Coet led for most of the race and has taken back control. Sullivan in second, Catilius in third. Coet's going to be your winner in 4:46. Sullivan, Catilius both at 4:47 and 4:48. So PR for all three of those athletes. And we have quite the seeded heat of the boys' mile coming up. Some familiar names from the cross-country season. Looks like Eric Linden has chosen to run the 1,000 today. Once I have this list, which I believe I should have access to now. Ethan Matthews is your number 1 seed here from Air Shirley, comes in at a 4:29. Some of the leaders sitting back right now. All right, Ethan Matthews from Air Shirley, Chris McCullough from Lunenburg, David Gardner from Lunenburg, Stephen O'Driscoll from Norwell, Michael Olson from Sutton, Sam Wallace, Parker Charter. And that's Air Shirley taking over the lead. Your top seed at 4:29 had a stellar cross-country season. The Lunenburg duo of McAuliffe and Gardner both come in at 4:30 and 4:31 respectively, and you can't count out Stephen O'Driscoll from Norwell. Ethan Matthews continues to lead. That's Chris McAuliffe from Lunenburg right on his outside shoulder. Stephen O'Driscoll from Norwell in third. David Gardner from Lunenburg in fourth. So all the studs up front right now as we're coming up on the 800-meter split. McAuliffe takes over the lead from Ethan Matthews. O'Driscoll still sitting in third. Gardner from Lunenburg falling off the pace a little bit. So we're going to be right around 4:32 pace here, going through a 2:16. Matthews trying to hold on. O'Driscoll in third. Gardner from Lunenburg trying to hold on to that fourth spot and go with the pace. The rest of the pack falling back here a little bit. O'Driscoll takes over the lead. So we've had 3 lead changes so far. We're 250 through the 1,000. O'Driscoll making a hard move. Looks like we're going to have a strong finish to this race. O'Driscoll just made that hard move through the 1,000. See if any of these athletes can keep up with them. Ethan Matthews is known for his distance. Right now it's O'Driscoll through 1,200 and 324. McAuliffe is trying to hang on. Ethan Matthews in third. Michael Olson from Sutton has taken over fourth from Gardner from Lunenburg. And O'Driscoll is trying to steal this one. Although not quite a steal. I said to watch out for him in the beginning. But he has opened up quite the lead on second place McAuliffe. And we are at the bell lap. And it's all O'Driscoll from Norwell. McAuliffe from Lunenburg in second. Ethan Matthews from Air Shirley in third. Michael Olson from Sutton in fifth. And O'Driscoll made that power moves only after 1,000 meters and never looked back. McAuliffe holding on for second. Ethan Matthews and Michael Olson in a battle for third. And that's all O'Driscoll for the win in 4:28. McAuliffe from Lunenburg second, 4:32. And Olson gets third, 4:33. Ethan Matthews fourth. What a race by Stephen O'Driscoll. Made a move midway through the race and never looked back. First heat of this 600. Lauren Skelly from Pope Francis in lane 2. Ava Farino from Saugus. Emily Grauman from Bishop Fenwick. Rachel Malone from Advanced Math and Science, and Natalie Molding in lane 6, the sophomore from Wareham. Top seed in the 600 today is going to be Kate Mitchell of Linfield with her 1:36.23. Next closest girl is a whole 4 seconds away. Only returner from this race last year is Emma Hartzell. She finished 5th from Littleton. And you should hear the town Littleton a lot today. Bell lap, 71 seconds.
Attention, athletes, boys. This is the last call for the boys.
150 even is the top time here. Coming in by Rachel Malone. Looks like we're going to be a little quicker than that. 148 for the heat win. And that was Natalie Molding, the 10th grader from Wareham. Heat 2 of the girls' 600-meter run is Alejandro Lynch from Linfield, Riley Thorpe from Joseph Case, Oren Weimer from Dover Sherborne, Carter Higgins from Amesbury, and Dylan, and I'm naming off the wrong ones here. Back up, talk to the girls. Emily Mohan from Leicester, Isabella Assam from Carver, Molly Dugan from Austin Prep, just a freshman, Hannah Kelly from Archbishop Williams, and Camille Sowazik from Littleton. all coming in with 147 seed times, so should be bunched up here. One athlete has broken away from the field early. We'll catch that bib number when she comes to the 400. And that's the Littleton athlete, Camille Sozik, trying to do everything she can to try and steal some points from the unseeded heat. And she's way out in front. You have to wonder in situations like this whether an athlete might have been sick during the season and they're just getting back to full health. Her seed time coming in, 147.50. She's going to be way ahead of that. She crosses the line in 143, so that was a huge race from her. That time may sneak into that top 8, maybe even more than that, depending on how the other ladies run. What a race. And here we go. Section 3 of the girls 600. Laura McBride from Oakmont. Catherine Mon from Austin Prep. Sydney Corahan from Parker Charter. Tiana Pignon from Stoneham. Claire Stoddard from Bromfield School, 9th grader. And Sarah Lawton from Snowden. Some Boston love right there. 144 is the top time from the freshman Stoddard. And they're all in it right now. 32 seconds through the first 200. And that's Parker Charter's Sydney Corahan, the sophomore. Strung out here a little bit. Coming up on the 400 bell lap, we're through at 67. That's still the Parker Charter athlete, Sydney Corahan, leading. We had some bumping and grinding right there. Sarah Lawton moving up on the outside, moves into second. See if anybody can catch Sydney of Parker Charter around the bend here, coming up to the home stretch. And that is Sarah Lawton of Snowden, the junior. Takes the lead. Time to beat from the last heat is 143. Sarah Lawton, second lane, and she's your heat winner right at 143. So 143.47 was the time from the last heat. Let's see if Sarah Lawton is able to best that from Snowden. Final heat of the girls 600, Laura Mitchell, Linfield, Sarah Fudger, South Hadley, Ashley Mitchell, Linfield, Emma Hartzell, Littleton, another Littleton athlete, Chelsea Lynch, Amesbury, and Lily Digman from Murdoch. As I said earlier, Emma Hartzell is your only returner from this race last year. She finished 5th. She'll be looking for some key points. All bunched up here. 31 seconds for the first 200. That's moving. Murdoch, 8th grader, moves to the front. Lily Digman, just an 8th grader, takes over the lead. Unbelievable confidence shown by this athlete so far. She can pull this off as an 8th grader. Unbelievable. She spaced out the 8th grader from Murdoch, Lily Digman, trying to take this one. Made a strong move on the second lap, and she's moved away from the whole field. This is unbelievable, people. 8th grader going to win this 600 Division 5 state title. We're talking about the opportunity of staying healthy and doing this 5 times. an unprecedented 5 times. And her time is blazing. 1:37 for the 8th grader. She came in with a 1:42 seed time. Unbelievable. That could have been just the performance of the day that you have just seen. First heat here of the boys. After all that excitement, Jared Kennedy of Archbishop Williams, Damian LaHouse of Blackstone Millville, 10th grader, Anthony Spooner of West Bridgewater, and Connor Posey of Seekonk. .28 seconds for the West Bridgewater athlete, Anthony Spooner. We're going to be 59 seconds here at the bell lap in this first section of the boys 600 meter. Anthony Spooner from West Bridgewater leading right now. I still can't get over that performance by that 8th grader in the seeded heat of the girls 600. Spooner still trying to hold on to the lead in this first section of the 600. And that's going to be Spooner, gun to tape, in about 1:33. Second section of the boys 600. Alejandro Lynch of Linfield, Riley Thorpe of Joseph Case, Oren Weimer of Dover Sherborne, Carter Higgins of Amesbury, and Dylan Fonseca from Fairhaven. 1:31.93 is the fastest time from Carter Higgins. All these athletes have either run 1:31 or 1:32, so out in front is Oren Weimer, the sophomore from Dover Sherborne, taking the lead early. Single file behind him. Little movement now. Coming up on the 400, we're going to throw in 58 mid to high. And that's still your Dover Sherborne athlete, Oren Weimer. Moving away from the field, Carter Higgins of Amesbury trying to make up the ground, passing the Seekonk athlete, or the Fairhaven athlete, Dylan Fonseca. Bunched up behind them, but it continues to be Weimer. See if he can hold on here down the home stretch. Oh, and he goes down. Holy crap. Didn't seem like there was anybody around him. May have just caught a spike. And your heat winner ends up being Riley Thorpe of Joseph Case. Looked like he had that race all but wrapped up. And something happened coming around the corner. Heat 3, boys 600. Sean Fernardy from Littleton, Jake Gosland from Seekonk, Bryce Ordonez from Pope Francis, Isaac Tortella from Fairhaven, Jacob Robin from Dover Sherborne, and Jack Campbell of Linfield. Little jostling there going into the first 200, 28 seconds. That's going to be Dover Sherborne to the lead. Bell lap in about 59 seconds. All 6 athletes, single file down the backstretch.
In second place, Chelsea Lynch, a junior from Amesbury, 139.14. And the winner of the girls, 600. She is an
Looks like that's Bryce Ordonez from Pope Francis out in front. Heat winner in 129.
137.00. Damon in the 8th grade. Women's team scores after 4 events, Littleton 28, Green 21.
Littleton leading with 28 points right now. Heat 4 of the boys 600. Chase Machad from Athol, John Williams, Advanced Math and Science, Dylan Voss, East Bridgewater, Chris Schoen from Carver, Anthony Maguza from Stoneham, and Ash Shaw from Marhar Regional. Maguza with the fastest time here of 127.62. And that's going to be Chris Schoen from Carver out front early. We'll see if any of these athletes can set a time out there and make the final heat a little nervous going in, put the pressure on. And this is pretty quick. We're through at 56 flat. Anthony Maguza has now passed Schoen. He has the top seed time of 127.62, and he's separating himself from the rest of the field. Now it's all about closing and seeing what he can do for his time here. And this is going to be a quick time for the unseeded heat, right about 125 high. Anthony Magazu with the heat win. And here we go. Seeded heat of the boys 600-meter run. Cole Bolduc from Blackstone Millville, William Ernst from Air Shirley, Joel Lara from Snowden, Mason Baru from Athol, Richard Swanson from Murdoch, and Alec Goldenberg from Douglas. Top seed coming in is Richard Swanson from Murdoch, the junior, and he's the one leading through 26 seconds for the first 200. Setting a quick pace early. Second fastest seed time coming in is Alec Goldenberg with a 124.69. Continues to be Swanson of Murdoch leading. Going to be 55 flat at the 400. Looks like it's a three-man race now. Swanson trying to lead from gun to tape, but he's being challenged on the outside. We're going to have a tight finish here. And it's Swanson in 123 high, 124 low. Richard Swanson takes that race, start to finish. Impressive race by him. This is going to be the first heat of the girls' 1,000-meter run. Oh. We had something go on there. We'll see what happens. Tommy's reaching for his back pocket, the starter.
There will be 2 sections in the girls' 1,000.
We may have had a little movement there. Talking to the Norwell athlete. Looks like he just issued a warning to the Norwell athlete. Shake it off, time to go. Girls unseeded heat of the 1,000. Maggie Allen, West Bridgewater. Katie Mulhey from Norwell. Samantha Hathaway from Fairhaven. Hannah Bradbury from Seekonk. Hannah Beckman from Bromfield School. Abigail Deary from Uxbridge. Margaret Weber from Austin Prep. Emma Riccardi from Linfield. Bridget Kelly, Austin Prep. Hannah Jones, Uxbridge, Katie Reed, Bellingham, and your 12th and final athlete, Casey Nordberg from Ipswich. Unseeded heat of the girls' 1,000-meter run. And the athlete that was issued the warning, Katie Mullahy, takes the lead. Unfazed by what just transpired. Have had a Littleton sighting. One of the Rothmans is running the 1,000. Continues to be Katie Mullahy setting the pace in this unseeded heat of the girls' 1,000 from Norwell. We have a lot of returners coming up in this seeded heat. Kate Mitchell of Linfield finished 3rd last year. Sarah Rothman finished 2nd last year. Caitlin Rothman finished 5th last year. And Jocelyn Rondeau from South Hadley finished 6th last year. So 4 returners that finished in the top 6 coming up. Katie Mullahy of Norwell continues to set the pace. Hannah Beckman, the freshman from Bromfield School, sitting in 2nd. Looks like 4 athletes have broken away from the rest of the pack, and we're on the bell lap already. 235 through 800 meters. Katie Mullahy trying to take this start to finish. The Bromfield freshman, Hannah Beckman, trying to have something to say about that. But Norwell pulling away. She got issued a warning, wasn't DQ'd on the start, and she's come back and taken advantage of it. Love to see that. She's going to come through right at about 3:11. Katie Mullahy of Norwell. Right behind her, Hannah Beckman, the freshman from Bromfield. You take her time that she just ran there, it would be the 6th place seed time. So we'll see if that's fast enough to get her in the money. Men's team scores Oakmont up front right now with 18 points, tied with Lunenburg for 18 points. Joseph Case with 11 points in 3rd. Seeded heat. Girls 1,000. Kate Mitchell of Linfield is your top seed at 255. Sarah Rothman's coming off that mile win from Littleton. Jocelyn Rondeau of South Hadley. Stephanie Castelletto from Austin Prep, Michaela Holloran from Amesbury, Lucy Clayton from Millis, Taylor Blanton, the freshman from Auburn, Nora Garvey, Sutton, Alia Nanoskis from Auburn, Mary Charvo from Ursuline Academy, and Angela McKenzie from Stoneham. 11 athletes in this seeded heat of the girls' 1,000-meter run. I can imagine Sarah Rothman is going to be trying to do as little as possible to get these points for her team. But Kate Mitchell with her 2:55 seat time, that is no joke. That's flying. Seems to be the year of the 1,000 for the girls in Massachusetts. A lot of fast times, a lot of girls sub-3. Whole field's there right now, coming up on 2 laps. Air Shirley also tied for 3rd in the men's team scoring with 11 points. 600 at about 149. Kate Mitchell of Linfield leading it. Sarah Rothman in second. Casalito of Austin Prep. 4 girls have broken away from the pack. We'll see if Sarah Rothman, with maybe some heavy legs after winning that mile, can hold on here. It looks like Kate Mitchell has taken charge, the senior from Linfield. We're coming up on the bell lap here. Kate Mitchell, 2:24. Rothman trying to close the gap. That's Casaletto from Austin Prep. And Jocelyn Rondeau from South Hadley. So the top 4 seeds have broken away. And Mitchell is flying right now. I'm sure Sarah Rothman will be happy with 8 points coming off that mile. But right now it's Mitchell, and she's flying down the home stretch. The senior from Linfield, Kate Mitchell, in about 2:57. Sarah Rothman in second, 2:59. Big team points for Littleton. Great race by Kate Mitchell of Linfield. A little off her top time, but she'll take that 10 points for her team in a Division 5 state title while she's at it. On the seeded heat of the boys' 1,000-meter run. Gonna track down some heat sheets. Section 1 here. Shane Dowd from Southwick Tolland. Will Hamilton of Austin Prep. Isaac Salem from Wareham. Stephen Altobelli from Oakmont. Joey Harmon, Oakmont. Jacob Klang, Seekonk. Julian Colville from Ipswich, Charles Bartler, Hamilton Wenham, Chris Rigo, West Bridgewater, Matt Riccardi, Linfield, Daniel Bennett, Dover Sherborne, Aaron Podgorny from Parker Charter, and Justin Lafert from Bellingham. Boys unseeded 1,000-meter run. 13 athletes in each heats here.
Boys 1,000 is 2 sections.
Looks to be Jacob Klang, the sophomore from Seekonk, leading the charge here early on in the unseeded heat of the boys' 1,000-meter run. Don't see updated girls' scores, but you can only imagine that Littleton is starting to separate themselves from the rest of the field. This is still your Seekonk athlete, Jacob Klang, leading the charge. We have quite the 1,000-meter run coming up in the finals. We'll talk about those athletes when we get there. That's now Isaac Salam from Wareham. The sophomore has taken over. And that might be Shane Dowd from Southwick Tolland that has now taken over the lead. Doesn't look like any of these times are going to be fast enough to sneak in. Going to be a high 240 most likely. And that is Stephen Altobelli, the senior from Oakmont, taking the win. So Eric Linden, the top seed here from Dover Sherborne, who's run 2:33 this season, opted out of the mile. He had the top seed with a 4:24. So we have Eric Linden, Dover Shoreborn, Trevor Fields, Air Shirley, Stephen O'Driscoll coming back after that mile from Norwell, Kellen Waters, Ipswich, Andrew Kazmar, Austin Prep, Henry Jordan, Seekonk, Dylan Chartier from Narragansett, Mike Norton, Coyle Cassidy, Quinn Cantrell from Parker Charter, Noah Silvak from Coyle Cassidy, Ricardo Reyes from Peter Marion, Dennis St. Jean from Athol, and Cormac McPhail from Winthrop. And it's all Eric Linden early. Guy to watch out for is Kellen Waters. Only comes in with a 2:40. He's sitting in second right now, but if there's anybody that's going to give Eric Linden a run for his money, it's been Kellen Waters of Ipswich. Ran a 1:57 earlier in the season for a split in, I believe, a sprint medley. So he'll cling to Eric Linden to see if he can keep pace. But to me, those two guys, Linden and Waters, are going to be the guys to watch. We are right through in 60 seconds on 2:30 pace through 400 meters. Linden's setting a hot pace early. Only one going with him is Kellen Waters of Ipswich. Trevor Fields of Air Shirley sitting in third. And we thought we were going to have a hot pace last night in the 1,000. This one is a lot faster, about 2 seconds faster through 400 meters. Eric Linden has had a very special season so far. Let's see if he can keep it going. My dark horse, Kellen Waters, right on his shoulder. Looks smooth so far. Little bumping and grinding in that 3-pack behind them. Linden trying to power through, so strong right now. From Dover Shoreborn, like I said, he had a 4:24 mile coming in, chose to run just the 1,000. And they are flying right now. Eric Linden coming through at 800 meters at about 2:02. Kellen Waters still there, has only run 2:40 this season. He's going to be well faster than that. Air Shirley's Trevor Fields has moved into third, but right now it's all about Linden and Waters down the back stretch, coming around the turn. See if Waters tries to slingshot off the final turn and give Linden all that he can handle. And we are on the final home stretch here. Waters coming up on Linden. Linden, Waters to the line, and it's going to be Kellen Waters of Ipswich with a time of 2:32 for the win. Great race by both athletes. Updated women's scores, Littleton 38, Amesbury 24, and Murdoch with 18 points for the women. Girls 300-meter dash on the track.
Next up, the 6th section, girls 300.
What a race right there. First section of the girls 300-meter dash is Caitlin Abut from Fairhaven, Natalie Battle from Air Shirley, and Ashley Tran from Archbishop Williams. Looks like we're missing one of the athletes. And that looks like Emma Dion from Carver didn't make it to the line. Two athletes coming down to the line here. And both right at the line. Not sure who was the winner there. Section 2 of the girls 300-meter dash. Emma Dion, Carver, Crystal Alvarez, Marion, Alexa Allard, Murdoch, and Colleen McLaughlin, Bishop Fenwick. Looks to be Alexa Allard, the 9th grader from Murdoch, out in front. Murdoch seems to have a promising future with these young girls doing so well at the state meet so far. Allard, the freshman, continues to lead. And it will be Allard for the win in about 44 flat.
Second call, girls 2-mile run.
Section 3 of the girls 300-meter dash. Anastasia Ashia from Uxbridge, Lauren Averka from Sutton, Mary Scalzuli of Norwell, and Hannah Heron of Ipswich. Hannah Heron of Ipswich out quick in lane 6. She'll get to the break in first. Just edges Anastasia Ashia from Uxbridge. Hannah Heron to the turn first. Norwell athlete Mary Scalzuli looks like she stole the show right at the line. Section 4, Kelly Cheevers, Ursuline Academy, Jules Hogan, Advanced Math and Science, Ellie Donovan, Sutton, Lily Digman, Murdoch, and Alea Hernandez from Leicester. And this is Lily Digman coming back after the 600, and it just does not seem like she has it in her legs, which is understandable after winning that 600 and a huge PR. That was a huge meet record by Kellen Waters from Ipswich in the 1,000. Beat it by 3 seconds.
Girls 2 miles, please. Girls 2 miles.
Section 5 of the girls 300. Tatum Evans, Dover Sherborne, Caroline Russell, Austin Prep, Rebecca Reynolds, Innovation Academy, Chelsea Lynch, Amesbury, and Anna Roman from Norwell. It's going to be Chelsea Lynch from Amesbury getting to the turn first. This being the second fastest section, some of these girls are sure to score some points. Looks to be Chelsea Lynch tying up here a little bit, but she's going to hold on for the win in about 42 high. Keep an eye on that time. Final section, fastest section, Amber Latuka from Bishop Staying, Katie Melowich from Millis, Alyssa Madden back after that huge upset in the 55 from Oakmont, Chloe Alfieri looking to redeem herself from Bromfield, and Laura Sablone from Austin Prep. And that's all Chloe Alfieri out in front right now. She looks like she's running angry. She has gapped the field already. Threw in about 24 high through 200 meters. And Alfieri has blown this thing wide open. And that's going to be Alfieri in about 38 high. Unbelievable. Maybe right around her seed time, but she was not messing around right there. She's going to take down Alyssa Madden's meet record easily from last year of 40.30. Maybe by a whole second.
Unofficial time for Chloe Alfieri,
38.94. She absolutely smashes the record. She was running angry. Section 1 of the boys 300. Tyler Wynot, Ipswich, Bryce Ordonez from Pope Francis, Philip Custoro from Innovation Academy, and Joseph O'Connor from Austin Prep. Looks like that is the Pope Francis athlete, Bryce Ordonez.
Madden's time 39.74. Doesn't quite beat what you ran last year.
Madden from Oakmont comes back and places second, another 8 points for her team. Second section of the boys 300-meter dash is Cole Senantori from Parker Charter, Sean McNulty from Archbishop Williams, Trevor McQuay from Ipswich, and James LaFawn from Athol. That's Sean McNulty from Archbishop Williams, setting the pace, getting to the turn first. Behind him, Cole Senantori from Parker Charter. Looks like the Ipswich athlete, Trevor McRae, has taken over, just a sophomore. Quite the finish. That looked to be Sean McNulty, the junior from Archbishop Williams, holding on for the heat win. Section 3 of the boys 300, Dominic Craig, the freshman from Carver, Mateo Correia from Bishop Fenwick, Anthony Maguza from Stoneham, and Cameron Picard from Bellingham. Looks like we don't have Anthony Maguza in here. He raced earlier, but Cameron Picard from Bellingham is out early. Mateo Correia from Bishop Fenwick follows. Mateo Correia from Bishop Fenwick will be your heat winner, followed by the freshman Dominic Craig of Carver. Section 4 out of 5. Nick McDermott from East Bridgewater, Harry Keefe of Sutton, Brett Cohey of Linfield, David Nelson of Auburn, and George Dixon of East Bridgewater. 2 Vikings in this race. That's George Dixon of East Bridgewater out in lane 6. Harry Keefe of Sutton. All the athletes in it right now. It's all about time from this unseeded heat. They'll surely place no matter what, but how high is the question. We have a few athletes at the line, and it looks like Sutton, Harry Keefe, is going to hold on for the win. Final heat of the 300-meter dash, seeded heat, Tyler Lindquist of St. Peter Marion, Aaron Hendry of Marhar Regional, John Paul Carbo of Advanced Math and Science, Magne Camara of Watertown, and John Coet from Oakmont. Big race here. John Coet out first. Magne Camara battling, holds Coet off. Coet's going to have to wait for the final turn if he wants to have anything to say about this. Magne Camara out to the second lane. It's going to be all Camara for the heat win in about 34, followed by Coet. Magne Camara from Watertown gets redemption. They exchange victories. Coet in the 55 dash, Camara in the 300-meter dash. Little break in the action right now. As I said earlier, but for you new listeners, the BayStateRunning.com new website has launched today. A lot faster, going to be more content. There's already some previews up there. So head to the Bay State Running website and check out our 2.0 version. Going to be handing out a hat to anybody that We're going to, probably 3 people that follow our Facebook page tonight, we're going to hand out a free hat either at your divisional meet or the All-State meet. We'll pick 3 of them at random. Follow our Facebook page, Bay State Running. All right, in our first section, unseeded section of the girls 2 mile is going to be Catherine Cherry of Martha's Vineyard, Taylor Blanton of Auburn, Phoebe Von Kanta of Parker Charter Central, Keely Mudgem of Douglas, another Mudgem, Audrey Swartz of Advanced Math and Science, Raina Duffy of Ipswich, Jessica Attorney from Lunenburg, Callie Morvay of Littleton, Gabrielle Peterson of Southwick Tolland, Camilla Miranda Lavora of Winthrop, Marissa Longe of Southwick Tolland, and Alyssa Storm of Joseph Case will be your 12th athlete. And your final athlete is Molly Squire of Bromfield Academy.
In 4th place, Savannah Svitka, South Hadley, 36 feet, 1/2 inch. In 3rd place, Tatjana Wurzma, Winfield Christian, 36 feet, 2 inches. In 2nd place, a junior at Seacon High School, this is Ashley Reistek, 36 feet, 6¾ inches. And the winner of the girls' shot put with a new meet record, #1 in Massachusetts, and the 6th best girls' shot put all time in Massachusetts. This is Cameron Garabian, 44 feet, 1/2 inch. #6 all time for Garabian. And she's only a junior. We need Rebecca Reynolds Innovation and Roman Norwell. In the awards area, the girls 200 meters. In 8th place, Caroline Russell, Austin Prep, Reading, 43.78. In 7th place, Anna Roman, Norwell, 43.14. In 6th place, Katie Malowitz, Millis, 42.85. In 5th place, Rebecca Reynolds, Innovation Academy, Marlboro, 42.84. Roman and Norwell are sliding in. In 4th Bishop staying in Dartmouth. 42 flat. Third place, Lawrence Sablone, Austin Prep Reading, 4102. In second place, in junior from Oakmont Regional, seventh fastest time, all time in Massachusetts, Alyssa Madden, 39.74. And the winner of the girls 300, a new meet record, and the third fastest ever in Massachusetts. Number 3 all time, Chloe O'Ferry Bromfield, 38.95. Madden number 7, O'Ferry number 3. Stoneham Boys Coach to the table. Stoneham Boys Coach.
Your leader all by herself is Phoebe Von Kanta of Parker Charter Essential, the 12th grader, setting a hot pace early, trying to sneak into that seeded heat and score some points for her team.
Boys, 2-mile run. Please report. First call, boys, 2-mile run.
About 5:54. 5:54 at the mile for the Parker Charter senior. Like I said before, I'm going to pick 3 random followers that follow our Facebook page, Bay State Running tonight. And we'll give you a Bay State Running hat at either your divisional meet, if you still have one left, or at the All-State meet next week. Bay State Running is the Facebook page.
And here are the results of the boys 300. In 8th place, Tyler Lindquist, St. Peter Marion and Worcester, 37.97. 7th place, George Dixon, East Bridgewater, 37.76. In 6th place, David Nelson, Auburn, 37.43. In 5th place, Harry Keith Sutton, 37.37. In 4th place, Aaron Henry, Miaa Regional, 37.29. In 3rd place, John Paul Charbonneau, Advanced Math and Science, Marlboro, 37.27. In 2nd place, John Coeck, Oakmont Regional, 35.45. And the winner of the boys 300 meters. He established a new meet record, number 3 in Massachusetts. This is Marge Camaro Watertown, 34.71. Number 3 in Massachusetts, new meet record. Leader here.
Is that what we look up when we want to watch it on the Bay State Running? Thank you.
Catherine Cherry, Martha's Vineyard. We need the girls' long jumpers. Alec, Condon, Schlentz, Weatherby, Sisley, Hogan, Hickey, McGraw. Girls' long jumpers, please. Alec, Condon, Sisley, Weatherby, Sisley, Hogan.
continues to be Phoebe Von Kanta, who came in with a 12:16 PR, leading the charge here. Now there's been a lead change after Phoebe Von Kanta has been leading the entire time. That's Catherine Cherry of Martha's Vineyard. Oh, she's settling into second. Slowed her up her pace a little bit. Looks like she's going to wait till later. Although they're running against time, so she shouldn't wait for too long if she's going to try and give the time a run here to displace some of those seated heat athletes. And she has now taken over the lead. The athlete from Martha's Vineyard, just a sophomore, Catherine Cherry. She comes in with a seed time of 12:13. These two have easily gotten themselves away from the third place athlete. Your number one seed coming in this unseeded section, Catherine Cherry of Martha's Vineyard on the bell lap. All by herself now. Doesn't seem like the time's going to be too quick here. Second place right now is Phoebe Von Kanta from Parker Charter Essential. Doesn't look like this time is going to be fast enough to do any damage going forward. Heat win for Catherine Cherry, just a sophomore from Martha's Vineyard nonetheless. Gained some valuable experience for future meets going forward in her young career. Second place was Phoebe Von Kanta of Parker Charter Essential. And in third was Rania Duffied from Ipswich, the junior. And oh boy, do we have a good one brewing here in the 2 mile. Sarah Rothman is tripling in open events. So this is her third and final event on the day. Megan Davis of Mohawk Trail will be in there in between Caitlin Rothman of Littleton. So both the Rothman twins in this 2 mile. This would be a heck of a triple from Sarah Rothman. You don't see that too often where you triple in 3 individual events. We talked about it in the preview, and I talked about it earlier today that there was a chance that she might do it. And we are going to see that. Once we get started here, we'll go over the whole field for you. Try and look into some team scores as we move into the relays. Littleton 36 for the girls and Murdoch 28, still hanging in there. We'll see what happens after this 2 mile. Littleton will look to really distance themselves more than just that 8 points. Murdoch does not have an athlete in this 2 miles, so Littleton has an opportunity to try and sew this thing up right now in the 16 lapper. here we go. Sarah Rothman, top seed, third event of the day, Littleton. Megan Davis, Mohawk Trail. Caitlin Rothman, her second event of the day from Littleton. Abigail Tenero from Seekonk, just a sophomore. Michaela Holleran from Amesbury, we've heard her name before. Emily Bouton from Pope Francis. Amy O'Sullivan from Greenfield. Megan Scott, Advanced Math and Science Academy. Rebecca Ethard, Hamilton Wenham. Isabel Doran from Hopedale. A lot of Dorans from the Hopedale School. Michaela Hafford from Millis, just a ninth grader. And Elizabeth Aness from Ursuline Academy. 12 athletes in the final with a seeded heat of this 2 mile. And once again, it's a Rothman out in front. Surprise, surprise. This is Caitlin Rothman leading right now. Megan Davis up on her shoulder from Mohawk Trail. She takes the lead. Sarah Rothman chilling in fourth right now. Gonna take her time on fighting for position. You gotta imagine she's at least a little bit tired after winning the mile and finished second in that 1,000. But like I talked about at the start of this event, the Rothmans could really seal the deal for their team in this event right here, right now. And Megan Davis doesn't want to have anything to do with that. She's going to set an early pace and kind of challenge the Rothmans to go with her. Rothmans 2 and 3. Everybody else right in line. Coach Fletcher, if you're listening out there, hopefully you're feeling a little bit better. Be back on the saddle tomorrow. And you have no choice to be back on the saddle for Saturday because your team's going, so feel better soon. Continues to be Megan Davis of Mohawk Trail, comes in with an 11:13 seed time. Sarah Rothman does have a 10:46 coming in, but she has 2 races on her legs already. Sarah in second, Caitlin in third. Looking around, seeing where the other athletes are. Boys 2 mile. Out on the on-deck circle. Waiting for their turn to enjoy 16 laps around the Reggie track in this beautiful air.
We'd like to Dennis round with the girls team, please.
Davis, Mohawk Trail continues to push. Sarah Rothman not too far behind. Caitlin Rothman behind her. And that pack chewing at the bit right behind Caitlin. So we're spread out here early with the top 3 athletes, and then you have that big chase pack of about 6 girls behind them. Continues to be Megan Davis, Sarah Rothman. We'll see if Sarah Rothman's able to get a couple more laps under her belt and maybe feel a little stronger as we go. We saw last night that 16 laps, it's a long race. When we saw Sam Aquaviva from Newburyport last night, he was way back in the pack, just taking his time, and he really felt the race late with about 3 or 4 laps to go, made a hard charge, catching up to Zach Conant from Westwood and winning that race in about 9:41. So, you know, it's not like the marathon when you see someone go out super quick and have a huge lead and get caught on the 18th mile, but it is 16 laps, and there's plenty of time to make your move later in this race. But like I said, Megan Davis is trying to get away from Sarah Rothman to kind of take that opportunity away. She knows that she's run 2 races already, and neither race was a walk in the park. Rothman had to work in both of them. That chase pack has caught up to Caitlin Rothman. Rothman still leads it, but there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 girls in line right behind her. So, you know, if the Rothmans want to lock this thing up right here, right now, they can't let this chase pack take over and start to move up to Sarah. Megan Davis of Mohawk Trail shows no signs of slowing down. Megan Davis was 4th in this race last year. Austin Prep's Stephanie Castellato, who already ran earlier today, is not in this race. She won this race last year. And Emily Bouton of Pope Francis finished 2nd in this race last year. And she is in the race, so I'm sure she's in that chase pack somewhere. Megan Davis has opened up her lead to about 40 meters. Hopefully I'm adding my meters up correctly tonight. Apparently last night we were having some problems with that. And now it is closer to her 50-meter lead. So Megan Davis may be clear of the field. Sarah Rothman's going to just work on getting those 8 points for her team. Caitlin has been passed now, so she's in 4th. We'll try and get some names of these athletes that are in that chase pack as they come by. Megan Davis just cruising along right now. Haven't heard too much of Mohawk Trail tonight, maybe in the field events, but this would be a big 10 points and morale boost on that long bus ride back to Western Mass, basically New York. Sarah Rothman is starting to lose ground on that chase pack behind her. Caitlin Rothman is starting to get passed by several athletes, and she's now in 5th, maybe 6th in a second. Megan Davis's lead keeps growing. The number 2 seed coming in. Sarah Rothman still in 2nd. Amy O'Sullivan of Greenfield is in 3rd. Caitlin Rothman still in the money in 7th place, looking for 2 points. Boys scores, Oakmont 28, Ipswich 18. That's Jessica Inatori from Lunenburg. I'm sorry, no. That is Amy O'Sullivan from Greenfield that has now moved into 3rd place. Abigail Tenero from Seekonk takes back that 3rd place from Amy O'Sullivan of Greenfield. So they're playing a game of back and forth, wasting a little bit of unneeded energy. Always tell my athletes, when you make your move, make sure you make it. You don't want to keep going back and forth and fighting in 3rd and 4th when you make them win. There she goes again. Amy O'Sullivan takes over the lead back. And Tenero from Seekonk. See how much that hurts them down the stretch, that back and forth action, but they are gaining on Sarah Rothman of Littleton. And back to front, another pass for Tenero. They have passed each other 3 or 4 times in that 3rd and 4th spot. Caitlin Rothman still trying to hold on to 7th. Michaela Holloran from Amesbury trying to get some team points. She's currently in 6th. I'm not even going to guess the meters that Megan Davis is ahead now. It's plenty. Sarah Rothman still in 2nd. Seekonk's Abigail Tenrero from Seekonk in 3rd. Rothman taking a couple looks around, seeing how close the other athletes are to her. Amy O'Sullivan from Greenfield in 4th. Looks like that might be Emily Bouton that just moved into 3rd in front of Amy O'Sullivan of Greenfield. 2 laps to go for Greenfield of Mohawk Trail. Looks like Sarah Rothman has picked it up a little bit to get clear and lock up those 8 points That would be individually, that would be 26 points for her on the day. Quite impressive. And that's Rebecca Earhart of Hamilton Wenham that's moved into third. Seekonks, Abigail Tenero, the sophomore, holding on to fourth. Amy O'Sullivan of Greenfield in fifth. Amesbury's Michaela Holloran now passes Sullivan. We're bell lap with Megan Davis here. 10:25 with 1 lap to go. Be tough to get under 11, but she's going to try and give it a go. Sarah Rothman still in a prime spot to pick up 8 spots. She's through in about 10:41. Takes a peek back just to make sure. Hamilton Wenham's Rebecca Earhart closing hard. Seekonk in fourth still. Tenero. Amesbury's Megan Holloran holds her spot. And in sixth place is Amy O'Sullivan from Greenfield. And that's the win for 11:04 for Greenfield. 11:04 for Megan Davis of Mohawk Trail. Quite the solo effort out of her. 10 points, Mohawk Trail. Sarah Rothman gets second place and 8 points for her team. She's winded, rightfully so. Amesbury picks up fourth. Hamilton Wenham third. Seekonks Abigail Tenero fifth. In fifth place is Amy O'Sullivan from Greenfield. Or in sixth place, excuse me. And in seventh place is Caitlin Rothman. And you wonder if she has a 4x8 coming up as well. So that's 10 points total for the ladies from Littleton, which stretches their lead. I believe they had an 8-point lead before, so it stretches their lead to 18. And the 2 mile is hard to keep track of with all those girls, some lapping going on. First heat here of the boys 2 mile. We'll give you those names once the gun goes off. Once we have some ladies team scores updates, we'll give those to you. Try and keep you informed going into these relays where the team battles lie. We had some great races last night. Came down to the line, ended up having a tie between Pentucket and North Reading for the girls. Oakmont out with 28 points, Ipswich with 18, Watertown with 18, and Air Shirley with 17 points. Those are the men's team scores going into the 2 mile, and with the high jump remaining as well. Girls looks like they still have shot put remaining. In this unseeded heat of the boys 2 mile, William Carroll, Southwick Tullen, Aiden O'Malley, Bishop Stang, Austin Michael, Joseph Case, Daniel Marquet, Pope Francis, Noah Garini, Dover Sherborne, Demetrios Angel from Ipswich, Clark Bishop from Douglas, Scott Siri from Dover Sherborne, Elias Boone, Littleton, Asher Brownson, Parker Charter Essential, his teammate Adam Mula, Charlie O'Neill, Norwell, Justin Manuel, Murdoch, and Brian Morgan of Arlington Catholic in this unseeded heat of the boys 2 mile. Everybody still in it up there? We'll talk a little bit more about the seeded heat coming in after we get a couple laps under our belt. A couple studs from the cross-country season going to be in this race.
This is the first call for the girls 4 on 200-meter relay. Girls 4 on 200-meter relay.
If you head to our YouTube page, you can check out the Division I previews for tomorrow for the girls and boys. Early tomorrow we'll have the Division II previews up for Saturday. And then sometime Saturday we'll have the Division III previews up for our final divisional meet on Sunday. We will also continue the action next week at the All-State meet on Saturday. That's Aiden O'Malley, just a freshman, leading the charge in this unseeded 2-mile. Right behind him is Southwick Tolland's William Carroll. Comes in with the top time of 10:38. Top seed here in the unseeded boys 2-mile, William Carroll. Southwick Tolland continues to lead, followed by Bishop Stang, freshman Aiden O'Malley. We have a new athlete in the mix here. Looks like that is Dover Sherborne. It looks like that's Douglas's Clark Bishop that has now moved to the front. Join the party. 3 lead changes so far in this unseeded 2-mile. And that is Clark Bishop, the senior from Douglas, bringing them through the mile in 5:13. So these guys are well ahead of their PR here. William Carroll, Southwick Tolland, Aiden O'Malley, Bishop Stang.
In 7th place, Caitlin Lockman of Middleton, 11:46.49. In 6th place, Amy O'Sullivan, Greenfield, 11:39.63. In 5th place, Abigail Tenrio, Seton, 11:29.51. In 4th place, Michaela Allen, Amesbury, 11:28.14.
Continues to be Clark Bishop leading from Douglas. William Carroll, Southwick Tolland in 2nd. And Aiden O'Malley from Bishop Stang is in 3rd. Clark Bishop trying to open up a little bit of lead here. Realizing that it's all about time here. You don't get any points or a medal for winning the unseeded heat. You got to earn it. And he's starting to open up a little bit of lead here, running against the time. Clark Bishop of Douglas. Bishop Stang's freshman, Aiden O'Malley, makes the pass into 2nd over William Carroll of Southwick Tolland. This just the appetizer to the main event coming up next, the seeded heat of the boys 2-mile. Clark Bishop continues to lead. Freshman Aiden O'Malley trying to get back in there. William Carroll of Southwick Tolland falls off the pace. I can imagine his coaches just telling him it's all about time here. Run against that clock. Clark Bishop, senior. Could be his last indoor 2-mile of his high school career. Trying to get after it here. Two laps to go. Aiden O'Malley, the freshman, doing his best to try and stay in there from Bishop staying. Clark comes in with just a 10:42 seed time. My apologies, he has 2 laps to go after this. Two to go for Clark Bishop of Douglas. This is really needs to start to bite the teeth and bear down. Get around these athletes that he's lapping. Second to last backstretch for him. If he wants to do any damage, though, he's got to have quite the close. It is a little motivation having those athletes in front of him that he needs to lap. Pick them off one by one. And we're bell lap. Clark Bishop. You would imagine he needs to close in 35 or faster to even have a chance at placing top 8. Sub 10:20 would give him a chance. Not going to be quite that fast. But still going to be quite a PR, an impressive race for Clark Bishop of Douglas. Took over about midway and never looked back. Cruising down the home stretch. Clark Bishop from Douglas in 10:25 is your winner. 16 seconds better than his seed time. Impressive race. Keep an eye on that time. Coming in quick is freshman Aiden O'Malley from Bishop staying. He best his PR. Coming up on the see the heat of the boys 2-mile. Race that has potential to go quite fast. All right, in this heat, Brandon Hall from Hopedale, Ethan Matthews of Air Shirley, Jake Luongo of Stoneham, Sean Kay, the sophomore from Arlington Catholic, Andrew Cabral, just a freshman from Seekonk, sub 10, Owen Dooley from Stoneham, William Schulp from Air Shirley, Jacob Sturm from Hamilton Wenham, Joseph Wierenski of South Hadley, Oliver Fried of Dover Sherborne, Jack Berry, Watertown, Hunter Marion, Narragansett, and Roth Santos from Seekonk. In this race, you have the number 3 returner, Brandon Hall from last year, Ethan Matthews was the big winner in surprise of the race last year. He came to win it, was the underdog. Sean Kay finished 8th last year as a freshman, and Drew Everett, who I don't believe is in here, did not make it to the line, was the 5th place finisher last year. Brandon Hall of Hopedale wastes no time on taking that lead. He knows that Air Shirley's Ethan Matthews already ran the mile earlier. He does have a significantly better time on the season, that 9:26 where he coasted at the small school state coaches. So I think the main goal for Brandon Hall tonight is to make sure he's in that seeded heat next week. Sometimes it takes a sub 9:35 to do so. He's no stranger to running by himself, though, so we'll see how this plays out. Looks like he's going to go take it and not look back. And I'm sure Ethan Matthews is just going to try and secure 8 points, get them back in that team hunt against Oakmont. Ethan Matthews in 2nd place right now, the freshman stud Cabral from Seekonk. Ethan Matthews' teammate moves up behind him. This is a big race for Air Shirley right now with 2 of their athletes in 2nd and 3rd. Oakmont does not have an athlete in here, so it's catch-up time for the Air Shirley boys. Coach Donovan, a former teammate of mine at East Bridgewater High School. Our head coach still doing his thing, both in this division, East Bridgewater and Air Shirley. Props to the legend, the Hall of Famer, Coach McCabe. Continues to be Ethan Matthews in 2nd. And William Schilt, just a sophomore, has a 10:16 time coming in. So, he's kind of running out of his comfort zone right now. We'll see how he handles that after a mile goes by and they get deeper into the 16 laps. Girls 4x2s are making their way out. As I said before, Littleton may have sealed the deal in the 2 mile, but we'll try and give you an update on the scores when we're able to. Hopedale, Brandon Hall way out in front right now. Oakmont, 28 points still. Ipswich, 19. Watertown, 18. And Air Shirley with 17. So depending what Air Shirley is able to pick up here, Oakmont doesn't have anybody in here. So this is going to be an important race for those 2 guys. And they know it. Big chase pack behind Hopedale's Brandon Hall. Everybody just getting in line behind Ethan Matthews on the chase pack. About a 60-meter lead for Brandon Hall of Hopedale. Only worried about himself right now as he has gapped the field by quite a bit. Oakmont 28. Ipswich has nobody in here at 19. Watertown has nobody in here at 18. Air Shirley is the only team that's contending right now in that top 4 that has athletes in this 2 mile, and they have 2. So I would like nothing more than these guys to place high and us have quite the finish to this meet.
Brandon Hall, 4:38.
4:41. 1,600 meters to go.
Matthews, A. Shirley, William Schlipp, A. Shirley, and everybody else in the field all gathered together.
Still a quick time for the chase pack. 4:57 for the chase pack. 7 athletes there. A sophomore, a freshman, a couple veterans. A lot of movement going on. We'll see if anybody tries to break away from that pack at some point. Coast City for Hall up front. As I mentioned earlier, it's just about time for him. Needs to make sure that he does enough to be in that big dog race next week. Running that 26 early in the season. You got to imagine he has a sub 920 in him next week when he's challenged. Ethan Matthews still leading the chase pack. And the lead only continues to grow for Brandon Hall. Right about 100 meters, 100-meter lead, half the track. Only a matter of time before he starts lapping some athletes. Chase pack bunching up a little bit. Ethan Matthews continues to lead. Jake Luongo of Stoneham getting a little antsy behind him, right on his shoulder. The freshman Cabral, the sophomore Sean Kay, all still in that pack. Brandon Hall looks determined right now. He's not going to settle just for the win today. He wants to run a quick time. Continues to be Ethan Matthews leading the chase pack. Jake Luongo in third. Sean Kay in fourth. And then there's a big move by the freshman Cabral. That settled right back in and got stuck. Making a couple rookie moves out there. But he'll learn from these, just a freshman. And Brandon Hall has started to pass some athletes. We'll see how many he can get before this thing's done. Shoulder and shoulder, Luongo and Matthews. Cabral, the freshman. Kay, the sophomore. William Shilp of Air Shirley is trying to hold on for some team points. In sixth place right now. You gotta think that meet record of 9:39 will be tough to hold up. That may be what he has his eyes set on. And then back in the pack, the all-important points for Air Shirley's Ethan Matthews. Luongo still on his shoulder. The freshman Cabral from Seekonk. Kay, the sophomore from Catholic, Arlington Catholic. Shilp has fallen back to seventh, but that's still 2 team points if he can hold on to it for Air Shirley. Hall on his second to last lap. Going to be coming up on the bell lap. Trying to give the whole field a scare about being lapped. Matthews still leads that chase pack with 2 laps to go. Longo, Stoneham, Cabral of Seekonk, just a freshman. Kay's fallen back a little bit from Catholic, Arlington Catholic. Bell lap, baby, 8:15.8. See what he has left in the tank. Chase pack heating up. Ethan Matthews has not let that lead up in the chase pack. Luongo, Cabral. Ethan Matthews and Luongo look like they're going to battle to the finish. Cabral, the freshman. Kay, the sophomore. And your meet winner and a meet record, Brandon Hall, Hopedale, 9:35. And you would hope that will do enough to get him in the seeded heat next week. Ethan Matthews still holding on to that second spot. Luongo from Stoneham in third. The freshman Cabral from Seekonk. And it's going to be Ethan Matthews with 8 huge team points for Air Shirley. Luongo of Stoneham in third. Cabral of Seekonk in fourth. Sean Kay of Arlington Catholic just over 10 minutes in fifth. Shilp coming down that home straightaway. Some important points on the line for Air Shirley. In 7th place for Shilp. So that's 10 points for Air Shirley. That gets them right back in the mix in the team fight for the boys Division 4-5 team title. First heat here of the girls 4x200. Lane 3, Arlington Catholic. Lane 4, Narragansett. And lane 5, Air Shirley. Here we are on the first exchange. Looks like it's going to be Air Shirley out in front. Followed by Arlington Catholic. And Narragansett trying to make up some ground here.
This is the first call for the girls for the 800-meter relay. First call for the girls for the 800-meter relay.
That's Air Shirley still leading, followed by Arlington Catholic.
Gentlemen, let's get you 2 milers, please. We got first, my second section on here, the awards. It is Hall, Matthews, Luongo, Cabral, Kay, Dooley, Schlipp, and Freed. In that order, it's on the board.
Still Air Shirley out in front. Little hiccup on the handoff. Got to jump off that track. Arlington Catholic in second. Narragansett bringing up the rear. Very spread out here in this first heat of the girls 4x200. And it's all Air Shirley in this first one. Came in with a seat time of 1:58, and they're going to be well ahead of that. 1:55 flat. And that could certainly jump a few places. Neat starter, Tommy Miaa, not too happy with a couple athletes getting in his way. Who would be? And we're off. Second section of the girls 4x200. Ipswich in lane 2, Watertown in lane 3, Archbishop Williams in lane 4, and Joseph Case in lane 5. Top time, 1:56.21 by Joseph Case. Their leadoff leg looks to be getting out to a good start. Out in lane 5. They'll be first to the exchange. Joseph Case. Followed by Watertown. Archbishop Williams in third. And Ipswich trying to hang on. Evenly spaced apart down the backstretch. Still Joseph Case with the lead. A little tighter here on the third leg. Watertown, Archbishop Williams. Everybody still in the race. .135, the time to beat from the last heat. 1:55, excuse me. This isn't a guy's 4x2. And that's Archbishop Williams taking over the lead. Followed by Watertown, Ipswich, and Joseph Case now in fourth. Archbishop Williams in the lead. Ipswich trying to close that gap. We're going to have a close one here. Archbishop Williams, but Ipswich in the second lane. Looks like that's going to be Ipswich for the win in 1:54. In section 3 of the girls 4x200, Saugus, lane 2, Innovation Academy, lane 3, Sutton, lane 4, and Stoneham out in lane 5. Sutton has already made up the gap in lane 4 on Stoneham. Sutton having a monster leadoff leg here. And it will be Sutton to the turn first. Sutton, Stoneham. Bunching up in second place. That looks to be Saugus moving into second, gaining on the team from Sutton. Sutton and Saugus on the third exchange. And that's Saugus taking over the lead. Couple clean exchanges, shoulder to shoulder. Sutton holds her off. Sutton still leading this thing. Sutton trying to hold on to this lead on the final turn. Going to have a close finish. And that may be Innovation Academy in second, but Sutton holds on for the win. Coming up on section 4 of the girls 4x2. Section 4, Carver in lane 2, Hamilton Wenham in lane 3, East Bridgewater in lane 4, and Littleton in lane 5. See if Littleton can add to their lead here, pick up a couple points from the unseeded heat. Third fastest heat. That's Carver with the early lead, followed by Hamilton Wenham, East Bridgewater, Littleton. Carver's opened up a little bit of a lead here. Hamilton Wenham giving chase. Just two teams still in this. Hamilton Wenham gaining a little ground on that Carver squad. And it is Hamilton Wenham slingshotting off the final turn. Carver, Hamilton Wenham, final exchange. Get it around the same time. Hamilton Wenham passes it on the turn. East Bridgewater actually getting back into this thing. Carver still leading. Carver, Hamilton Wenham, East Bridgewater. And that's Carver extending the lead down the home stretch. All about time now. It's going to be Carver in a 1:52. Hamilton Wenham, Vikings. That's the fastest time of the day so far. Section 5 of the girls 4x200. Douglas, lane 2, Bromfield, lane 3, South Hadley, lane 4, and Uxbridge, lane 5. Bromfield School out to an early lead here. Uxbridge, South Hadley. Douglas makes up a little ground, moves into second. Bromfield trying to hold on to that lead. Moving into their third leg. Continues to be Bromfield leading the charge. Douglas in second. Uxbridge in third. South Hadley in fourth. It's all Bromfield early. Final exchange. Bromfield with the lead. Barring a miracle, it's going to be Bromfield. Bromfield looks to run fast here. Their time could certainly challenge those other two heats. Sorry, the next heat, final heat. So keep an eye on this time. It's going to be about 147 mid. Way ahead of their seat time of 153. So 24-7 split by Alfieri. She's had quite the day. Final heat, Ursuline Academy, lane 2, Austin Prep, lane 3, Oakmont, lane 4, and Amesbury, lane 5. Amesbury came in with the top time on the day, but Bromfield just ran a blazing time. These girls are going to be not only running against each other, but against the clock, what Bromfield just threw down. That's Amesbury out in front, Oakmont in second, Austin Prep in third. Let's see once that time pops up on the screen. Bromfield, 147.54. A little quicker than Amesbury's seed time, but if they do anything like Bromfield did and run a little bit ahead of what they did, a lot of it ahead of what they did. Amesbury, Oakmont, Amesbury continues to lead. Anchor leg. Oakmont in second. Time to beat, 147.54 from Bromfield in the last heat. And it's going to be close. 147, it's going to be close. We're going to have to wait till it comes up on the screen. Could only be separated by a couple tenths. Time to beat, 147.54. First heat here, Seekonk, lane 2, Pope Francis, lane 3, West Bridgewater, lane 4, Austin Prep, lane 5. 147.54 from the unseeded heat, Bromfield. Amesbury was chasing that, and Amesbury takes it, 147.25, just edges Bromfield from the seeded heat. Great race by the Amesbury girls. Wish we could have seen them matched up against each other. Looks like that is West Bridgewater out in front. Followed by Pope Francis. Pope Francis passes right before the turn. Pope Francis, Wildcats, Seekonk, Austin Prep. Final turn. Home straightaway. All Pope Francis here. Pope Francis comes in at 137 high. Way ahead of their seed time. Well, 3 or 4 seconds ahead of what they were seated at. This is the time to run fast. Section 2 of the boys, 4x200. Parker Charter Essential in lane 2. Air Shirley, lane 3. Bishop Fenwick, lane 4. Ipswich in lane 5. Oakmont, second fastest heat. And Watertown, fastest heat. So we could see Oakmont and Watertown battling for team points from separate heats. That's Ipswich out in front. Bishop Fenwick in the second. Air Shirley back in it. Some clean handoffs. Continues to be Ipswich leading. Air Shirley has moved into second. Air Shirley has moved into first. Quite the leg by the Air Shirley athlete. Air Shirley gets the baton first, followed by Ipswich. Bishop Fenwick not too far off the pace. And that's Air Shirley for the heat win in about 138 flat. Section 3 of the boys 4x200 coming up on the track. Oh boy. See what the issue is here. Tommy Miaa seems none too pleased. Looks like lane 2 wasn't ready for the start. Mohawk Trail. We're going to just have a warning here. Not sure that was the athlete's fault. Wasn't on the track yet. Not sure how you can fault them. Got to wait till everybody's on the line. Almost had an athlete go down there, recovers somehow. Mohawk Trail lane 2, Archbishop Williams lane 3, Uxbridge lane 4, and Stoneham in lane 5 in this third section of the 4x200. The Uxbridge athlete is the guy that almost went down. A couple tough handoffs there. It's going to be Mohawk Trail out in front. Mohawk Trail continues to lead. Mohawk Trail continues to lead here. Coming into the final exchange, anchor leg. Team moving well up on them is Archbishop Williams. Baton at the same time. Fight for the turn. Mohawk Trail holds him off. Mohawk Trail, Archbishop Williams. Mohawk Trail out to the second lane. Archbishop Williams trying to sneaks up on the inside. It's Mohawk Trail for the win. Section 4 of 6 coming up. East Bridgewater, lane 2. Fairhaven, lane 3. Arlington Catholic, lane 4. And Auburn, lane 5. Looks like East Bridgewater may have got there first. It's going to be East Bridgewater out in front on the cut-in, on the turn. East Bridgewater comes in with the slowest time out of this heat, so. But all teams are separated by less than half a second. East Bridgewater leading this thing early. Clean handoff for East Bridgewater. A battle behind them. Fairhaven trying to get them back in it. It's going to be East Bridgewater here on the final handoff. See if they can hold on to this lead. Clean handoff. A lot of fighting going on behind them. That's what's great about running by yourself in a 4x2 rather than having a battle for position with the teams around you. Your time can suffer in those seeded heats. We'll see what East Bridgewater can throw down here and see if it can put them in the mix for some team points. East Bridgewater, 1:36. 4 seconds ahead of what they had previously run. Second fastest heat coming up here. Section 5. Boys 4x2. Sutton lane 2, Oakmont lane 3. Big race for Oakmont here. Narragansett lane 4, Athol lane 5. They should really coordinate when they start the events and when awards are going on. Can't be having those go on at the same time. Just uncalled for. Athol out in front here. Narragansett actually pulls ahead. Oakmont might be saving up their athletes. Top athletes for the 4x4, we'll see.
And this is heat number 5, Sutton, Oakmont, Narragansett, and Athol.
That's Narragansett and Athol. Sutton and Oakmont in 3rd and 4th. Should be no rush on those awards there. They should wait till the 300 is off. Narragansett continues to lead here. Sutton in 3rd. Doesn't look like Oakmont's going to pick up any points here in this 4x200. Narragansett, Athol, neck and neck. Down to the line, and it looks like it's Athol pulling off the heat win. Seeded section. Some key points here for Watertown. Linfield, lane 2. Joseph Case, lane 3. Marhar Regional, lane 4. And Watertown with the top seed out in lane 5. Watertown has run well in these relays all year. Marhar Regional getting a monster leadoff leg here to get out in front. They'll be at the exchange first for sure. Marhar Regional, Watertown, little hiccup by Joseph Case. Linfield in 4th. Joseph Case responds well. Watertown in some trouble early. Maybe saving up those guys for the 4x4 later, like Oakmont. It's Marhar Regional in 1st. Joseph Case, Watertown in 3rd. Linfield 4th. Miaa Regional flexing their muscles here. Traveling from out west, they're trying to go home with a W. Clean handoff. Joseph Case, Watertown has some trouble with the handoff. Need to beat a 135 from the previous heat. And as long as Miaa Regional beats that time from last heat, and they're going to be our heat winners. Joseph Case, Watertown trying to pick up some points. Two sections with a 4x8 coming up, 9 and 9. So they've set the standard in these early meets where they're going to do two heats, 9 and 9 with just 18.
Next on the track, the first of two sections in the girls 4x8.
Did you see our friend in the Miaa? The kid from Douglas? Couldn't realize the kid who carried the team. I was laughing, so it's the same kid.
First heat here, the girls 4x800. Lane 1, Hamilton Wenham. Lane 2, Lunenburg, Ipswich, Seekonk, Hopedale, Southwick Tolland, Oakmont, Uxbridge, and Norwell. Once we're able to get some team scores here for you. Like I said earlier, I believe Littleton may be up and away, and I'm wrong. So, you know, if these are correct right now, we have Littleton with 46 points, Amesbury with 40, Murdoch with 28, and Oakmont with 27, Bromfield with 26. So Littleton and Amesbury still battling here. So they weren't able to put it away with that 2-mile finish of 10 points for the girls. And Littleton and Amesbury were the teams that we talked about. Murdoch, a bit of a surprise with those 28 points. Oakmont, a little bit of a surprise. So we'll take a look at what we have left for Littleton and Amesbury. So Littleton is the #1 seed, but they are without Sarah Rothman. She has capped off her max amount of races for today. I'm sure she'd come back for 4 if she could, but not allowed. So Littleton is without Sarah Rothman. Caitlin Rothman could still come back and run, but there is no Amesbury in the 4x8. So anything that Littleton does get is a bonus. And I'm sure they still have some athletes that could get it done for them. In the 4x4. Littleton is in that seated heat. Amesbury in the second fastest heat. So, you know, barring a miracle, it looks like Littleton is going to be hard to beat going forward. But Amesbury trying to lock up that runner-up position. Littleton 48, Amesbury 40. Or sorry, 46, 40, 28 for Murdoch. Just 8 points with Amesbury not having a 4x8. Looks like it's too much. And there we are with the girls' team scores. think so we updated boys scores. We have some interesting things going on here. Right now, Joseph Case is your leader with 28 and a hay. Air Shirley with 28, who we expected to be there. Oakmont with 26, we expected to be there. Watertown 21. But Joseph Case is the surprise so far. I guess they really shouldn't be a surprise because I believe they won the Division 5 relays. So that's on Coach H and myself for overlooking them in the previews because they did win the Division 5 relays. Not sure where they've been getting their points tonight, but it's been adding up somewhere. So we're going to have quite the battle down the stretch in the boys' team battle. Keep you posted on that. See if that does include the 4x2 or not. And we'll check into what we have going on for the 4x8. That's Lunenburg out in front right now, followed by Hamilton Wenham. Both teams trying to push themselves to try and sneak some points out of, or steal some points from that seeded heat, I should say. Take a quick look at the boys 4x8 coming up and seeing what top teams. Air Shirley is that #1 seed. That would be Ethan Matthews' third event of the day. I'm sure they're bringing a couple more boys back. But they are the only top team in that seeded heat. Actually, there's only one heat of the boys. They're rolling with 15. And Air Shirley is the only team in there. So, and they're the #1 seed. So Air Shirley has quite the opportunity to give themselves a chance to take the W here. Let's get back to this unseeded heat of the girls 4x8. Just 9 teams on the track right now. Looks like Lunenburg continues to lead, followed by Hamilton Wenham. Third place looks like Southwick Tallinn.
136-41. In fourth place, Narragansett Regional, 136-38.
This is the first call of the girl bull of 400-meter relay. Please report to girls 4x400-meter relay.
In third place, Athol, 136-28. In second place, Joseph Case of Swansea, 135-98. And the winning team, Aaron Henry, Hugo Frost, Aiden Donato, and Sebastian Shaw, Miaa Regional, 135-07. Boys team scores after 9 events. Joseph Case, 28.5. A. Shirley, 28. Oakland, 26. Watertown, 21.
Final leg of this unseeded 4x800. Bell out for Hamilton Wenham. Well clear of the rest of the field. Going to be Hamilton Wenham coasting to the unseeded heat win. Hamilton Wenham takes the dub in 10:35. About 9 seconds faster than their seat time. Does have a chance to place. All right, so like we talked about before, some big points up for grabs for the Littleton girls. They can, if they even score 3 points here, that will lock up the meet before the 4x4 even happens. So 3 points. A 6th place finish would seal the deal for the Littleton ladies. Littleton, South Hadley, Austin Prep, Stoneham, Parker Charter, Sutton, Linfield, Ursuline Academy, and Bishop Fenwick. 9 girls in this heat as well. Sure, this Littleton team would like to go out with a bang here. It's South Hadley, I believe, leading early. Once again, going to the men's team scores, Joseph Case, Air Shirley, Oakmont, all with a real tight battle, all in the 20s. Joseph Case, 28.5, Air Shirley, 28, and Oakmont, 26. And Watertown not too far behind with 21, going into the 2 final relays and 2 final events of the day. South Hadley continues to lead. Littleton not too far behind. Parker Charter, Stoneham, and Sutton make up your top 5. Coming up in the 4x8, as I mentioned, Air Shirley is the only top team in the boys 4x8. So any points that they get is all a bonus. Watertown will be in that final heat of the 4x4, but Air Shirley could put it out of reach by then. Joseph Case looks like they have run out of gas. No teams in either relay, but they had quite the day. That may have just been an individual racking up all those points, but or a couple. Either way you look at it, looks like this thing is all Air Shirley if they can take the W. Or even a top 3 finish in the 4x8. Littleton has taken over the race. They come in with that seat time of 9:30, missing their top athlete. And their second best athlete, Caitlin Rothman, is maybe running on some tired legs, but seems like they have some other athletes that are certainly capable of holding their own. Littleton leading the charge. Parker Charter in second, leading that chase pack. South Hadley's still in there. Athlete just moved into second and is starting to put some space in between her and the rest of the field. Stoneham in second now, trying to move up to that Littleton team, that number 1 seed Littleton team. Stoneham in second, Parker Charter in third. As they start to gain, strong move by Parker Charter on the back straightaway. Starting to move up onto the Littleton girl. And that's going to be Parker Charter taking over the lead. Looks like some heavy legs by the Littleton girl. See how much space the Parker Charter athlete can put on her. This could be Parker Charter's time to shine. Stoneham moving into second. Littleton falling back to third. Austin Prep. South Hadley. Parker Charter in first. Littleton. Stoneham. South Hadley. Austin Prep. Littleton leading this thing. Stoneham in second. Littleton and Stoneham separating themselves after only one lap on this third leg. We're going to have 15 teams in this boys 4x8 coming up. Little bit too small to separate it into two. Maybe 15 is the max. Maybe they would have went 8 and 8 if it was 16. Littleton continues to lead. Stoneham in second. South Hadley third. Austin Prep fourth. And Parker Charter in fifth. And just spotted Air Shirley's Ethan Matthews on that leadoff leg for the 4x8, third race of the day. Busy night for the kid. Coming up on the anchor leg here. Littleton and Stoneham.
Littleton and Stoneham.
And you guessed it, Caitlin Rothman. Her third race of the day. Rothman after Rothman after Rothman. We saw it last year as sophomores. There's only 2 of them, but you saw them everywhere today. Stoneham sticking right on her shoulder. We could have quite the finish in this girls seeded 4x800 meter relay. One can only hope. Team title is all locked up. But 4x8 champs up for grabs. That's Avola from Stoneham in the mile. She ran the mile earlier and I believe finished 3rd or 4th. So she's no scrub. So let's in Rothman's on her 3rd race of the day. Avola just on her 2nd. Avola looks like she's perfectly fine with sitting in 2nd place until the time is right. I'm sure coach told her that she's had her Rothman's run 3 races on the day. And Avola's making her move now with a lap to go. Let's see if Rothman's able to respond. And Rothman holds her off. So maybe the move would made a little too early. Avola holding on tight. Never doubt these Rothmans, I tell you. And Rothman, Caitlin Rothman is starting to space herself out a little bit. 3rd race of the day. No Sarah Rothman, no problem. You have Caitlin on the anchor leg here. And Caitlin Rothman powering home for Littleton. The team title's theirs. The 4x8 title's theirs. What a day by the Rothmans in Littleton. 10:02.
Final call, boys, 4x4.
So no fireworks in the 4x4 for the girls team title. And if the boys from Air Shirley take care of business here, there'll be no fireworks in the boys team title going into the 4x4. We won't be treated to what we were treated to yesterday in that girls 4x400 meter relay.
On
15 teams here in the boys 4x8. Once they get spread out, they should be okay. Air Shirley, your top seed, 826. Dover Sherborne, where we should see Erica Linden maybe on that anchor leg. Parker Charter, Arlington Catholic, Seekonk, Littleton, Martha's Vineyard, Narragansett, South Hadley, Austin Prep, Marhar Regional, Hopedale, East Bridgewater Vikings, my alma mater, Ipswich, Auburn, and Sutton. That's Parker Charter out in the early goings. Ethan Matthews from Air Shirley lurking in 3rd. A lot of athletes on the track right now. Looks like that's Arlington Catholic. Parker Charter athlete might have went out a little too hot there. Might be Ethan Matthews' third event, but he's going to go take the lead right here and looks pretty strong. 500 meters into the race. Ethan Matthews of Air Shirley. Stud miler, 2-miler. Looks like that's Littleton that has moved into second. We haven't talked about them too much for the boys today. Air Shirley and Littleton. And the Littleton athlete has now passed Ethan Matthews, but heck of a day by Ethan Matthews. Puts his team in pretty good position here. That's Littleton, Air Shirley, and then a whole slew of teams. See if Hopedale can get back in there, and maybe we'll see a Brandon Hall sighting later on in this race. Littleton and Air Shirley out in front. Air Shirley has the opportunity to lock this meet up right here, right now. Arm sleeves indoors, interesting choice. I wouldn't recommend it. Actually significantly cooler in here than it was last night at the D4 State Championships. Maybe with those warmer temps outside, they decided not to turn the heat on today. Wise move. Littleton still leading. Air Shirley in second. Incredible job Coach Donovan has done with that Air Shirley program. Still Littleton leading. Air Shirley right on his shoulder. That's Sutton trying to get into the mix here. Arlington Catholic. And then the rest of the field. Air Shirley has taken over this lead. You hope by the time that they get to that anchor leg, there's not a whole lot of traffic with Air Shirley starting to creep on the other teams. That's a nightmare when you see that as a coach. Littleton trying to keep it close. Air Shirley. I believe that is Sutton in second, Littleton in third. Yeah, number 16 seed, Sutton. Or 16th bib, so they must have missed check-in, and then they just threw him a 16th bib. So, but it continues to be Air Shirley out in front, Sutton in second, Littleton in third. Air Shirley trying to do the same thing that the Littleton girls did. Cap this meet off with the team title with a 4x8 win. 4x4 will just be for bragging rights. Air Shirley, anchor leg. Sutton, Littleton. Teams are starting to get past here. It's a three-team race up front. Here's where things could get dicey. You have the Air Shirley athlete coming around, and then you have all these handoffs happening. Hopefully he has a clear lane. Just got cut off. Oh, man. Some coaches may feel differently. I'd probably rather that be an 8 and 7, 8 in the final, 7 unseeded, instead of the 15 teams on the track. You wouldn't put 15 guys in an open 800, so why put 15 guys in a 4x8? Late night thoughts. That's 15 guys on the indoor track, 200 meters. You may put 15 on the outdoor track. Air Shirley swings wide, starting to pass some guys. Anchor lap. Sutton in second. Littleton in third. This could be a pretty quick time for this Air Shirley team. 8:23 for the win, Air Shirley. 4x8W, boys team title. And Sutton should be DQ'd right now for unsportsmanlike conduct. You would hope his coach would talk to him later. See some officials looking at it, but and the athlete from Sutton is being talked to right now. Can't do that. I'd be losing my mind if I was that boy's coach. Looks like he's going to let him off the hook with a warning. Put that team in jeopardy there. They finished second, so they get automatic advancement onto the All-State meet. A DQ could have easily changed that on sportsmanlike conduct. Oh, that was a loud gun. First heat of the girls, 4x400. And we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 teams in here. Interesting. Wareham, Athol, Bishop Fenwick, Ursuline Academy, Hamilton Wenham, Oakmont, West Bridgewater, Seekonk, Southwick Tolland.
And this is 3 sections of the girls, 4x4.
3 sections. As we talked about, team scores, team titles all locked up. Littleton for the girls. Air Shirley for the boys. Littleton with 56. Amesbury with 40. So Amesbury for the girls will lock up that runner-up trophy, as they are impossible to catch right now. So Oakmont did pick up some points from a field event, because they now have 36. Air Shirley has 29. Joseph Case 28.5, but that is before the 10 points that Air Shirley just picked up in the 4x8. So that will bring them to 39. And Oakmont does have a team sitting in 17th. So maybe this thing's not over. Maybe Oakmont has a sneak team in this 4x4. I may have talked a little too early. I'll keep you posted.
In 6th place, Simon Mincy, Bishop Everett, beginning 44.9 3/4.
Because Air Shirley does not have a 4x4 team
In 5th place, James
entered in the meet.
Gardner Spellman, Brockton, 47 feet 7 1/4.
Still will be a couple teams fighting for that runner-up position no matter what. Oakmont, Watertown.
Another hurdler, 48 feet 8 1/4. In 3rd place, Bradley Harankowitz, Wareham, 49 feet 8 3/4. In 2nd, Chris Salinas, Athol, 53 feet 5 1/4 inches. Chris broke the meet record, but the winner, Aiden Felty, a junior from Innovation Academy in Marlboro,
Out in front is Bishop Fenwick.
6 feet 4 inches, a new meet record. Congratulations to Aiden. Team scores of the boys with 2 minutes to go. Oakmont 36, Ada Shirley 29, Case 8.5.
He just watched Air Shirley win. That's Oakmont for the girls out in front there. Followed by Seekonk, Athol. Oakmont, Seekonk, Athol in this unseeded heat of the girls 4x4. So as we talked about, Oakmont in the boys 4x4 will have to do something special out of the unseeded heat. I believe they will have to place 5th or 6th to win the meet. We'll have that locked up for you once they put those 4x8 results up. And this is going to be Oakmont for the win in the unseeded heat with a time of 4:29. Heat 2 of 3, girls 4x400. Looks like something's going on here. We may have a protest, it looks like. Holding the race for something. Not sure what's going on. You know, I'll speculate for you, though. May have been where South Hadley finished in the 4x8, maybe. I'm not sure. I believe it's the South Hadley coach asking for something. Unclear of what's happening right now. May have had a protest of some sort. All right, game on. We just had a team join us here. And they are not on my heat sheet. So we just had South Hadley added to the race in lane 6, and they weren't on the heat sheet. And the girl is going to, I think, block her ears for the gun. Oh, got to get a hip number. I think we're ready to go. If these girls weren't nervous before, I assure you they are now. They have a mix-up in hip numbers, I believe, right now, and they don't see it. Advanced math and science, I believe, was supposed to be in lane 6. Loud gun. One of the stranger moves I've seen in a long time. The girl had her ears covered, let the gun go off, then left the line. So may have lost a little bit of time there. After a little bit of a delay, we have Ipswich, Sutton, Amesbury, Stoneham, Advanced Math and Science, and I believe South Hadley was added to the team mix here, or to the second fastest heat of the 4x4. So maybe they missed check-in, or not sure what could have been the case there. Looks like that's Ipswich out in front. Ipswich still leading here in the girls 4x4. Ipswich. Ipswich still leading. That looks like it's advanced math and science going for the pass. If they are the Eagles. See if I can catch a hit number when they come around. Now that looks to be Amesbury. That has moved in. Amesbury goes right around into first, makes up huge ground. Sutton also moving up. Things have drastically changed here from where they were about 30 seconds ago. Amesbury completely takes over this race. Sutton into second. Advanced math and science holding on to third for the time being. Amesbury, Sutton, advanced math and science. Amesbury, Sutton on the exchange, advanced math and science. Ipswich in fourth. We're down to 5 teams now. We started, nope, 6 is right there. Getting the handoff now. Thought we lost one. We're okay. Amesbury continues to lead. Sutton making up some ground. We could have quite the finish here in the unseeded 4x4. Bell lap. Ipswich moves into third, ahead of advanced math and science. Amesbury on the backstretch continues to lead. Sutton trying to keep pace. But Amesbury may be too tough here. It's going to be all Amesbury. It's all about time now. Coming in for Amesbury. In about 4:19.
8:57:30. In seventh place, Hopedale, 8:56:46. In sixth place, Martha's Vineyard, 8:56.
Updated team scores: Air Shirley 39, Oakmont 36, Joseph Case 28 in a hay. So that means Oakmont will definitely have second no matter what. It's just if they're unseeded. If their boys 4x4 can do something from that unseeded heat. So we're going to keep track of Oakmont. They're not in one of the faster heats.
In third place, Littleton, 8:39:41. In second
Final heat of the girls 4x4 seeded heat.
And the winning team in the boys 4x8, Ethan Matthews, Edward Ernst.
We have Austin Prep, Norwell, Millis, Dover Sherborne, Littleton, Linfield. The only thing I can tell you for sure, there could not be a Rothman on the track here. They've maxed out 6 events total. They cannot do any more legally. As far as being capable of it, I'm sure they could. Here we go. Norwell moving up on the outside into third, into second. We have the Norwell faithful right in front of us, cheering on their team. Linfield, your leaders. Norwell in second, Dover Sherborne in third, Littleton fourth, Millis fifth. And Norwell is starting to close the gap. Norwell looks like they're poised to hand off in first here over Linfield. What a second leg by the Norwell athlete. It's not. Noel to the lead over Linfield.
Sixth, Serenity Sands, East Bridgewater, 5 feet.
Oh, Dover Sherborne making a huge move into first. Linfield follows suit. Noel holds on for second so far. Things are heating up here. Dover Sherborne, Noel back to the front. Linfield and Noel is now separating themselves from the rest of the field going into the anchor leg. A lot of clapping by the Noel faithful here. Noel hands off in first going into the anchor leg, followed by Linfield. Littleton has climbed back in this thing. Dover Sherborne back to third. Dover Sherborne to second. She's doing a lot early to try and get back in this thing. Noel running controlled so far on this anchor leg on the first 200. Bell lap of the final girls race of the day. Norwell in front. Linfield in second. Dover Sherborne third and Littleton in fourth. Oh boy, Linfield creeping up. She's going to try and make this pass on the back straightaway. Linfield goes to first. Can Norwell react? Linfield powering through. Mitchell from Linfield looks to have locked this thing up on the final straightaway. Linfield for the 4x4 title, followed by Norwell, Dover Sherborne, and Littleton battling for third. On to the boys. Like we talked about before, it's Air Shirley in first with 39 points, and Oakmont already locked up second with the 36 points. They would need a fifth place finish from the unseeded heat to overtake Air Shirley in the team standings. Wareham, Winthrop, Littleton, Oakmont, Athol, Norwell, and West Bridgewater. So all eyes on Oakmont right now. Thanks for joining everybody else there. Oakmont looks to be in fourth place right now. They're going to need a lot more than that. They got to win this heat, and they got to win it quick. Athol out in front. Athol in first. Oakmont sitting in fifth now. They're going to need a monster leg from somebody to get back in this thing. Athol trying to hold on to that lead. That's Winthrop in second. Athol and Winthrop. We got that Oakmont watch. Oakmont moves into third. They would need something incredible out of their third leg to even think about winning this heat. Athol continues to lead. Winthrop holding on for second right now. Oakmont in third. Wareham in fourth. Athol powering away from the field. Oakmont moving up, but it might be too little, too late for the Oakmont squad. Athol, Winthrop, Oakmont. Athol, bell lap, way out in front. Just working on that time now. Winthrop in second, Oakmont in third. Wareham. Athol with the heat win.
Runs like that too, you know.
Section 2 of the boys 4x4. So it looks like those team standings are going to stay as they are. Air Shirley takes the win. In Oakmont, second place. Great job by both those teams tonight. Well deserved. Section 2, Archbishop Williams, Mohawk Trail, Auburn, East Bridgewater, Dover Sherborne, and Advanced Math and Science Academy of America. And that's Advanced Math and Science Academy of America out in front.
There's 3 heats.
Trying to build on their lead here a little bit. The Eagles, Dover Sherborne and Mohawk Trail.
They didn't run it enough during this.
Mohawk Trail trying to cut down that lead a little, cut that lead down a little bit, and they have. Dover Sherborne in third. Mohawk Trail takes the lead. Over AMACA. Mohawk leads. Eagles in second. Auburn, Dover Sherborne. Mohawk Trail continues to lead here. Advanced Math and Science in second. Dover Sherborne in third. Auburn. Archie's. Mohawk Trail has opened up a sizable lead here. Trudging down that straightaway into the final handoff. Advanced Math and Science, Dover Sherborne, Auburn, EB, Vikings, Archie's, all spread out here. It's going to be all Mohawk Trail here on the bell lap. Just battling that time at this point. Some guys getting some jumping jacks in here before the final heat.
And we'd like to have the 2 teams with Littleton girls.
Mohawk Trail. Let's see if they have a sub 340 here. And 339 high, I believe. Advanced Math and Science in second. Auburn, Dover Sherborne, EB Vikings, and Archbishop Williams. Seeded heat time. No team implications here, but Watertown looks to go sub 330 and lock up a spot in that seeded heat next week, possibly. See if Watertown can close out this meet with a bang. Murdoch, Carver, Ipswich, Parker Charter, Watertown, in Marhar Regional. Can't forget about Marhar Regional. They were the winners in the 4x2 over Watertown, so we could have another battle here between Watertown and Marhar Regional. And that's exactly who's out in front early on. Marhar to the lead, Watertown in second. Carver moves into third. Parker Charter in fourth. Looks like Watertown is going to hand off first. Carver in second. Marhar Regional in third. About a 53 mid for that opening handoff. Watertown. Carver. Marhar. Watertown trying to stretch that lead. Marhar's now making a move. Carver holding him off. And that's going to be Carver coming around the turn, slingshotting. Going to take over that lead and hand off him first. Marhar going wide out to lane 4. Watertown, Marhar back in it. Carver right on their back. This is why you end the meet with the 4x4, arguably the most excitable race. See if Marhar tries to make a pass here. Watertown, Marhar Regional, Carver. Marhar Regional to the front. See if Watertown is able to respond. It's going to be Marhar going into this anchor leg. Western Mass team. Handing off in first. Watertown not too far behind. Carver in third. Watertown sneaking back in it early. Only time will tell if he went out a little too quick. Watertown settles in behind Marhar on the anchor lap. Bell lap. Carver's falling back a little bit in third. Marhar, Watertown. Final home stretch. Watertown trying to slingshot. Watertown, Marhar. We're going to have a tight finish, and it looks like it's going to be Watertown for the win in 332 high. Carver in third. We appreciate everybody joining us tonight. Once again, Littleton, your girls champions. Air Shirley, your boys champions. We'll see everybody tomorrow night for the live feed, starting at 4:30, Division I Championships. If you can't make it in, make sure you join us. New Bay State running website, 2.0, up and running. Check that out. We'll have the D2 previews up sometime tomorrow morning. Good night.